Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of yesterday's and today's newspaper guys. So let's get started with our discussion, students. And most of the articles which had been discussed in our earlier classes, so just I will be giving you gist of those articles which we had discussion in our earlier classes. Okay, so now let us see the first article. See this article. Title says heavy losses inflicted on Pakistan military, says DGMO. So actually you know that India attacked which areas? India did 9 areas airstrikes, especially in this Pak-occupied Kashmir region and as well as across India and Pakistan region, right? And apart from that, India even attacked this Karachi, and even India went for bomb blast on which stadium? Rawalpindi area, right? So because of all these things, obviously it will cause us loss or not? The same thing which had been said here. And even we stopped this Indus water, and we went for sudden release of water. So because of this, what happened? Again, it will cause some losses for this Pakistan because of heavy rainfall in this Jammu and Kashmir region. Okay, so this is that article, nothing more, but let us see the points. So here you have to know about who is this DGMO. So Operation Sindoor represents a significant escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan. So where exactly we have these tensions across this LOC, line of control region, and you have to draw a map and you have to see where is this LOC located, and you have to see about history of this LOC, where you will be seeing about this history in this topic of post-independent India after we got independence. So whatever the 552 princely states were there at that time, how we integrated into our country. So one of the toughest this princely state we have been united into India is Jammu and Kashmir, who was under rule of Raja Hari Singh. So see that instrument of accession, what was the story which happened in this 1947 region. Okay, so actually because of this Operation Sindoor, so DGMO, that is Director General of Military Operation, he gave some crucial updates. In that updates, he said that Pakistan got heavy losses and heavy casualties and loss of infrastructure, everything. Okay, that's the thing which mainly said. And actually this article is saying that because of this Operation Sindoor, that led to increasing of escalations or tensions between India and Pakistan. And this one here is, here military operations are going on, and even we went for civil defense drills in how many districts? 244 districts, which had been divided into category 1, category 2 and category 3. And which are the areas in our Telugu states which are under category 1? We have Hyderabad, and second one is Visakhapatnam. Okay, and that is the thing which mainly said, nothing more than that thing. So see here the next article, India EU to hold FTA. What is FTA? Free Trade Agreement talks. Aims to conclude pact first phase soon. So have we discussed about this FTA in the recent past? Yes, with which country we are going to come up with that? UK. So now with entire European Union, we are going to have this FTA. Now guys, tell me, so if we are finalizing this FTA, is that good for India or bad for India? Yes, good. So what are the advantages we are going to get? Increasing of trade, increasing of imports and exports, zero duties. Next, increasing of production, increasing of foreign reserves. Next, creation of employment opportunities, increasing of standard of living, and decreasing of poverty, decreasing of hunger, everything, right? That is the thing which mainly said here. So here you have to see about this free trade agreement that already we had discussions in our earlier class. And especially you have to know about European Union. So here we have this word, right? European Union. And you have to see what is this European Union. So this is your work today. What is this European Union? What are the objectives of this European Union and how many countries are part of it? Okay, see that today. And see the next article, guys. Total fertility rate in India remains at 2.0. Bihar records highest count and Bengal is lowest. Okay, what is the keyword? Keyword is TFR, that is total fertility rate. In 2024 prelims, there was a very simple question. That is TFR is seen recently in news. What is TFR? So tell me what is TFR? It is nothing but total fertility rate. That means whenever a girl or an adolescent woman comes into this stage of adolescence whenever the starting of menstrual cycle happens until her last cycle of the menstrual cycle. So how many children she give birth is called as total fertility rate. That means in the fertility window of a woman, that is the starting of her menses and the ending of that menses. So how many children she will be giving the birth, that is called as TFR, total fertility rate. So here it is 2.0. That means nothing but women now in India, they are going for giving of birth for 2 childs. And highest where we have TFR, highest is there in this Bihar state and lowest is there in Bengal. So make a note of this. TFR of India is 2.0, highest in Bihar and lowest in Bengal. Very, very important. And whenever you are writing any answer regarding this kind of stats, try to represent in this way. Can you see here? One map. So try to use this kind of statistics while you are writing your answer so that it will improve your presentation, guys. And you have to write one more data. So please make a note of that data. So what is a TFR in Bihar? Is 3.0. In Bihar, women are giving birth to three kids. And Bengal is 1.4. Bengal is 1.4 and here Bihar is 3.0 and on average throughout India we have 2. Okay, so if you see this information which is given here, who is releasing this data? RGI. So what is this RGI? Registrar General of India. So did we study anything in the recent past regarding this RGI? Yes, when this RGI post came into picture? Not Aadhaar. Recently only. Yes, when we studied about this population census, we discussed about this person, right? And apart from that, he is responsible for proper registration of deaths and as well as births. And recently what he said, what is the statement given by this person? Come on, recall. So there is no proper recording of births and deaths are happening in our country. So that is the one concern which is said by this person, right? And now the same person who released the data in year 2021, and this data which is saying that there is declining of the share of population age group of 0 to 14 years. That means the number of population or the number of people who are coming in this age group 0 to 14 are decreasing in India. Okay, so what is the percentage? 41.2% is there in 1971. Now it had been decreased to 24.8% by 2021. Write this data. According to the recent report released by RGI, he said there is declining of population of 0 to 14 years of age. And in 1971, the population was 41.2%, and now in 2021, around 2021, it is 24.8. And if we get the recent update data, we will be getting the data of 2025 to 2026 after we get the census data. Okay? Yes. So here this article is saying that there has been a gradual decline of the share of population who are coming in this age group, that is 0 to 14 years, from 41.2% to 24.8%, and this data is very authenticated because it is released by RGI, Registrar General of India. So what is this TFR? TFR is nothing but the average number of children a woman can give birth is called as TFR. So who are those women? 15 years to 49 years women. They are giving birth to how many children? On average, we will be calling it as TFR. Okay, actually in 2019 to 2021, it was 2.2, but now RGI released the data that said that average is 2. And highest is in Bihar and lowest is in Bengal. And what are the reasons why there is declining of fertility rate in India? What is the reason? Why a couple wants to go for less number of child, not more number of child as our grandmother generation they used to have? Yes, economic factors, social factors and cultural factors. Because if you have more children, what you have to do? You have to spend more money on their health, especially education. Education become very costly. And even if you want to get proper healthcare also, it's becoming costly. And even if 4 or 5 children are there, will they provide sufficient nutrition for them? No, right? So because of the socio-economic factors, and even if they are having more number of child, women, they have to spend more time in their home only. Should be not getting an opportunity to go out and to work, right? Yes. So because of all these things, fertility is declining. And even earlier, if you go back to 10 years back or 20 or 20 to 30 years back, so there we had early marriages, right? Early child marriages. At that time, whenever the marriage is happening at a very early age, what happened? So they can go for giving birth for more number of child. But now even women, they are getting 30, but they are not getting married, right? So after 30, what happens is hormonal changes will happen, and the egg quality and the number of eggs will be declined. So this is the one important reason why women are not getting pregnant after getting the marriage. Okay, and even because of the pollution, because of the lifestyle changes, women are getting this problem called as PCOD, polycystic ovary disease. So because of this also, they will be not getting menstrual cycles every month, so that there will be declining of fertility rate. Okay, and next one here is migration. So what is happening now? Women, after when they get good education, good higher education, will they stay in the home? No. They will be migrating to other areas to do some jobs. So because of this employment also, they are getting empowered, and they are taking their decision itself regarding their reproductive rights. So because this also, yes, there is declining of things. And next one here is, what will be the consequences if there is low fertility rates in India? What will be happening in the future? Old age people will be increasing. If old age people are increasing, is that good? No. What happens? Will they work for the long time? No, they will not work. So because of this, they will be becoming as a burden on the family. Not only burden on that family, but even for the government. Because government have to give some health initiatives, health related schemes, pensions for old age, right? And will they contribute to our economy? No. Okay, so here there is some data which says that India currently has 149 million people who are above 60 years of age, and they comprise about 10.5% of our total population. And by 2050, this number is going to be doubled. That means we are going to have more old people, grey hair will be there, more grey hair in our Indian land by 2050. That is the thing which mainly said. And next one here is, what happens whenever there is decreasing of young population and increasing of old population? Workforce, the people who are doing work will be more or less? Will be less. There will be shrinking of young workforce. So what happens? Because of this, furthermore increasing of dependency on that single person who is working. Yes, and next one here is labor market. Because of this declining of fertility, if you go to any industry, there will be vacancies rather than unemployment. Okay, that is the one important thing. And see the next article, a fundamental reset to drive manufacturing growth. So what is the keyword? Manufacturing sector. So where you have studied about this manufacturing sector in your syllabus? In your economy. So we have different sectors, right? What are they? Primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary, quaternary and quinary. Keep this quaternary and quinary aside now. So primary is related to agriculture, secondary is related to manufacturing or industries or factories, and third one is service, right? Service includes telecom services, banking services, like that. Okay, so what is happening in our manufacturing sector now? So can you tell me recently any index that we discussed which said about manufacturing growth? What is it? Yes, GDP which is contributed from this manufacturing sector had been decreased. That is the thing. And who said this? Which data? Which index? IIP, Index of Industrial Production. So recently IIP said that there is decreasing of production from our manufacturing sector. So that is the thing which mainly said here. So this article is saying that there is decreasing of manufacturing output or manufacturing growth is happening. So for this, what our government can do? Because this manufacturing sector is very, very important for our economy. Because if you see employment, so most of the employment can be created from this manufacturing sector compared to that of agriculture, because it is seasonal. but manufacturing is like throughout the year it will work. So if you're creating more employment here, what happens? It will provide the wages to the people, and there will be increasing of production, increasing of contribution to our GDP, and they will get foreign reserves into our country, and improving of different indicators like poverty indicators, health indicators, everything, right? So that is the thing which mainly said here. Now let us see this article. So actually this article was written by a former IAS officer. So actually this article written by D.N. Gupta, a former IAS officer and currently an adjunct professor in National Institute of Advanced Studies in Bangalore. In Bangalore he is teaching, and he discussed about, yes, lots of changes which happened in our global manufacturing and trade. And especially now the trade is focusing on innovation driven, medium, high and high technology products. Yes or no? Yes. Now which products are in sale or which are trending? Electric devices. Yes or no? Yes, that too innovative design. Innovative. That means earlier we used to have, I want to give you one example. So do you know hair straightener, especially women, they will be using this hair straightener. Earlier we used to have very old model, but now it is now like comb. If you are how you are combing your hair, if you are using that and if you are combing your hair, it becomes straight. That means it is innovation or not, it is something new, technology. Yes. And if you see earlier, any remotes, any cars, for example, the kids used to play with the toys, right? So we used to have the cells and we have to insert that cell, and after one cell is completed means we have to insert another cell. But now what is happening? So if you go to any toy market, now we are having rechargeable things. So again, innovation, there is no need of replacing, just directly you can keep that charging pin there. Yes? Yeah, electrical vehicles. So now what is happening here is, in which manufacturing sector we have boom, that is innovation driven, that too technology products. So people are not interested in the traditional handmade. Yes, are you getting this? So if you understand this point where there is a demand, so based on that demand we have to make some changes accordingly so that we can improve the production in that so and so sector. That is the thing which mainly said. Clear? So for which goods now there is a market. So now there is a good demand for innovation driven, medium, high and high technology products. So what is this officer is saying is, manufacturing is moving towards high technology and they are moving towards innovation driven products. So if you want to do some innovation, if you want to do some new products, if you want to use more technology, what we have to do? Obviously we have to do research and development. So now we have to focus on research and development and advanced supply chains. So what are the traditional things? What are the things that we are using from the old age? So they are not working now. We have to get some new things. So for that we have to use some new raw materials. For that we have to go for searching of new supply chains. That means nothing but the countries are supplying those new kind of materials. For example, rare earth metals we have. For example, we have critical minerals. You have studied about these critical minerals, right? So that means we have to focus on supply chains. We have to focus on research and development in this manufacturing sector. And not only that, India came up with Make in India. So what is this Make in India project? Skill India, Make in India. So already India came up with some schemes or the boost up in our country, that is Make in India project and other projects in this manufacturing sector. But even though we have to focus on increasing of other schemes so that we can focus on research and development, and as well as we can focus on innovative products production. Okay, and this article is also saying that India's per capita value added in manufacturing is significantly lower than global averages. So if you compare to other countries like China, Japan, USA, Russia, they are technologically advanced. So when we are comparing our manufacturing sector with that, obviously it will be low or less, high, low. That is the thing which mainly said. In 2023, India's per capita value added in this manufacturing sector is comparatively low with other developed countries. And this article is saying that we have to focus on education. We have to focus on engineering education so that we have to impact problem solving skills in the students. Okay, so rather than focusing on outdated books, we have to focus on the present technology that is going on. So if you're studying the present technology and if you're focusing on the future thing, then only we can go for improving of manufacturing sector. That is the thing which mainly said. And next one here is we have to focus on AI and IT, machine learning, so which are trending now. So rather than going for CSC, so for example, if you are going for counseling, so you have to select the colleges and which branch you want. So traditionally, which branch students will be taking? Engineering students, CSC, ECE, IT, and now artificial intelligence, machine learning they came now. So we have to focus on which are the trendy courses rather than going for the traditional courses. And we have to focus on innovation ecosystem. So if you see IT sector in our country, which area is famous for IT sector? Bangalore, that to Silicon Valley, right? In the same way, we have to come up with that kind of areas in the different areas so that we can attract more investments and more production, more technology, everything. That's the thing which mainly said. And say this article, why India must get caste census right. So have you studied about this caste census? What is this caste census? So we are not only collecting the data of population, but even we are collecting the data of their caste, to which caste they belongs to. And we discussed about clearly regarding what are the positives and what are the negatives. And you already wrote about that also, right, in the main questions. So I'm not going to discuss that. So just revise what is caste census and what is the census, what are the positives, negatives, and challenges. That's it. Nothing more than this. And say this article, how Kerala handling its waste problem. So what is the image that you can see? Octopus made up of? Plastic. Yes, octopus made up of plastic wastage. And have you been to this Indira Park? Anyone? Yes. Nearby? So in Indira Park also, there are some special things that you can see. What are they? Some models which are made up of iron. Yes, whatever the wastage of iron or their iron scrap. So with that, they made some animals, animal motifs. Okay, so in the same way, now this image which is showing about motif of an animal which is made out of plastic. So where you are studying about this waste pollution in your subjects? Yes, in your environment and ecology, which comes in GS paper 3, you will be studying about this waste management, right? Okay, so why this article is in news? Because from October 2nd, 2024 onwards, Kerala state is going for campaign. Please make a note of that campaign. Campaign name is Vruthi, V-R-U-T-H-I, Vruthi. So from October 2024 onwards, Kerala's government is going for rigorous campaign called as Vruthi. Vruthi means cleanliness of body and as well as mind. And this campaign has involved everyone from all levels, Chief Minister, Malayalam film stars, to school children, local self-government, local self-government representatives, bureaucrats, and sanitation workers, everyone. Okay, so here what you have to do is keep heading waste management, and you have to see what is waste and how much amount of waste that is generated in our country, data. And next one is which state is generating more amount of waste. And next you have to see types of waste management. We have solid waste management and wastewater management. And for that, government came up with some schemes. So which kind of schemes the government came up? And next you have to see, like, have you heard about the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? So for that, every year government will be giving such Sarvekshan awards. So you have to see which states are getting that awards and which is the cleanest city in our country, cleanest state in our country, which is the worst state in our country. So please make a note. That data that you can add while you are writing answer regarding waste pollution, and I will be giving question on that today. Okay, so that is the thing, nothing more than this. Yeah, say this article. Monsoon likely to reach Kerala on May 27th, earliest onset since 2009, says IMD. So did we studied any article regarding this monsoon prediction? What is that? Come on. Early monsoon, which area? Area name? Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So I think 2 days ago on Saturday, we discussed that. Yes, normally by May 20, this monsoon winds will hit Andaman and Nicobar. And now this year, what is the date they predicted? May 13th, they are going to hit. And what is this article talking about? It is talking about same thing, but what is the place you're talking? Kerala. That is nothing but mainland India. Okay. So here we have Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So here we have equator. So monsoon winds, after changing of the direction of winds, first they will hit this part, right? Andaman and Nicobar they will hit. So now they are going to hit on May 13. So what is the usual time? May 20. And after hitting this, they will hit this Kerala coast, right? So normally they will hit on June 1st. So what is the date they are predicting here? May 27th. Yes or no? That means, can I say there is advancement of monsoon winds? So here you have to see what are the reasons and what is the impact of climate change on monsoons. Okay, clear? And recently Indian monsoon chapter had been done in your geography class, I guess. So you have to see about what is meaning of monsoon, especially from which word this monsoon had been derived. That is, what is that word? Mausam. What is the meaning of this mausam? And next you have to see about what is the mechanism of this monsoons, what is ITCZ and shifting of this belts that you have to see. And next one is you have to see branches. How many branches we have? Bay of Bengal branch. Next one is Arabian Sea branch. And next you have to see about jet streams, that is subtropical jet streams, its role, Mascarene High and its role, Indian Ocean Dipole movement, Indian Ocean Dipole. And next ENSO, next El Nino, La Nina. So all these things which had been done in your class, right? So just revise all those things, then your work will be done. And if you ask a question like why there is advancement of this dates, means because of climate change. Okay, whenever you are writing any answer regarding climate change and its impact, you can also add this topic, that is because of climate change impact. Yes, there is advancing of monsoon winds which are hitting this Andaman and Nicobar and Kerala coast by 1 week. Okay. And see this article, Punjab, Haryana, UP asked to set up Parali protection force to put an end to crop burning. So have we discussed about this article anywhere? What is article related to? Stubble burning. Stubble is called as Parali or Paroli, right? Okay, in which states this problem is there? Punjab, Haryana and Western UP. Why? Because of green revolution there is enhanced growth or enhanced cropping of this rice and as well as wheat is happening in this region. So because of this, there is very less time they have to shift. So because of this constraint in time, they are going for collecting of waste after harvest and they are just setting up a fire. This is called as stubble burning. So because of this stubble burning, there is increasing of carbon dioxide emissions, increasing of pollution of air, especially that is leading to the Delhi smog during winter season. Okay, lots of steps taken by the state governments and as well as central government to control this stubble burning. But still, is it controlled? No. So because of this now, here Commission of Air Quality Management in NCR, that is CAQM, which asked directly the states of Punjab, Haryana and as well as UP to set up this Parali protection force. If we are creating separate force, then what they'll do? They'll be having only one work to stop that. For example, in the recent classes we discussed about greyhounds. Can anyone recall that? Greyhounds? Operation Sankalp. In this Operation Sankalp, because of IED, that is explosive device blast, 3 greyhounds had been died in this Telangana region from Mulugu district. Yes, 2 days ago only we discussed that. So here greyhounds is nothing but the special force which is focusing on only Naxalism, and we have Cobra. So I also gave you the list of these special forces which are fighting against only Naxalism in different states in this red corridor, right? So here in this Punjab, Haryana, UP also, many a time Supreme Court is giving directions, many a time state government is giving directions and as well central government is giving actions, but this problem is not solving. So because of this, now they are going to come up with a special police which are dedicated to controlling of this paroli only. Okay, so how can you use this article, guys? So whenever you are writing about any answer regarding the stubble burning, or if you are getting any case study regarding you are a district magistrate or you are an IPS officer and how you have to control this stubble burning means, now you can use this or not. Recently CAQM, write down, CAQM, Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM, gave directions to Punjab, Haryana and UP, to set up Parali Protection Force. Parali Protection Force. If you are writing any answer regarding stubble burning or any case study, in way forward or in measures, can you use this directly? As soon as possible, immediate setup of Parali Protection Force. Clear? So in this way, you have to use your current affairs while you are writing your answers for enhancing of your skills. And here what you have to do is you have to know about what is stubble burning, what's the meaning of stubble, why the farmers of this Punjab, Haryana and UP, they are going for stubble burning, and you have to see what is the impact of this stubble burning, and already what are the measures taken by the state governments and as well as central government to control this stubble burning. So this is the thing. Yes, we have happy seizures. And even there is one article. Can anyone tell me? Yes. Yes. And even recently one update regarding stubble burning is MP came up with a scheme. In that scheme, they said that if any farmer who is going for stubble burning, they are not going to entitle the benefits of the scheme. Apart from that, what you can use? What you can do? Where you can use here? And even one editorial that I discussed in the recent past, and I gave in our monthly compilation also in monthly, governmentality. So because of this government schemes that is linked to the growing of these crops in this Punjab, Haryana and UP regions, that led to increasing of stubble burning. I said this also. Because of MSP government is providing and because of supports which are providing by the government, so farmers are going for this and they are going for stubble burning in this region. That is one also the example. So like this, you have to connect everything. You have to be very sharp, like a sword. Till I explain anything, you see like this only, as I am teaching something new. Okay. Yeah, see next article. Kerala, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu attain United Nations SDGs in mortality ratios, says report. So did we discuss MMR in the recent past? What we discussed? Decreasing of MMR. So what is the earlier number and what is the new number? Not 1,000, 1 lakh. So earlier it is 97 and now the recent report is saying that 93. Who said that? RGI again. Again there is RGI. RGI is coming. So you have to know about details of RGI for sure, guys. Okay, so here one recent report said that yes, decreasing of MMR in our country. What is MMR? Yes, during delivery or within 42 days of delivery, when a woman is dying after giving the childbirth, it is called as MMR, that is maternal mortality rate. And we are seeing for 1 lakh live births, not for 1,000, 1 lakh. So 1 lakh deliveries is happening and how many women are dying? That is called as MMR. So earlier we have 97 and now it decreased to 93. And what is the goal of United Nations? Yes, can you recall? On that day I discussed that by 2030 we have to decrease that to 70 deaths per 1 lakh live births. So here this report what it is saying. So which states have been attained this? Kerala, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu already they attained this United Nations Sustainable Development Goal target of 70 MMR. That's the thing. So write down. United Nations SDG target in maternal mortality rate, that is MMR, is less than 70 by 2030. And the second point here is under 5 mortality rate is less than 25. Okay, write the second point, under 5. That means below 5 years, how many children are dying? That is called as under 5 mortality. Okay, don't confuse. So under 5 mortality rate should be less than 25 by 2030. And this one is neonatal mortality rate. Neonatal is nothing but after birth till 1 month is the time period. That age group is called as neonates. So how many neonatal deaths should be there? So it should be less than 12. Okay. So here MMR is 70 and under 5 is 25 and neonates is 12. So these are the SDG Sustainable Development Goals. And which states have been achieved this target? So please make a note. According to the report, 8 states have already, according to report, 8 states have already attained this MMR SDG target. In brackets, right? Kerala, how many deaths? 20 only. Kerala 20, Maharashtra 38, Telangana 45, AP 46, Tamil Nadu 49, Jharkhand 51, Gujarat 53, Karnataka 63. So if your state is here, be happy, and if your state is not there, so try to find out the reasons why your state is not there and what is the number in your state. And if your state is there in this list also, don't be relaxed. So see what steps taken by your government to achieve this thing. Okay, so that is the thing. So are there any new topics in today's newspaper? That's what I said. So there is a very, very minimal notes today. So try to do the work that I gave. Yeah, okay. So these were some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindi newspaper, guys. So by this, I am concluding. So my students are responding very well. So if you want to respond like this, and if you want to remember current affairs, and if you want to make your preparation easy, to do what's this current affairs daily, okay? Don't miss even a single day, so that you will be missing a lot of content, guys. And thank you so much for watching. And if you like this class, please hit the like button and please to share this class to your friends. And also do subscribe